Hello, everyone. I was muted again, of course. Hi, I'm Simon at Wondering DM. This is Vampire the Masquerade Nightfall. Before we go in and introduce who we are, who we'll be playing, you saw that on the new short temporary intro sequence. But it'll be longer. I promise. Probably next week.
That's what she said.
Um,
I'm sorry.
so before we go into today's game, I just want to thank all of our sponsors, Mage and Press, makers of 5th edition supplements such as Dark Matter, the sci-fi fantasy campaign setting that you can get at store.mageandpress.com, and if you use code WanderingDM, you get 15% off. Also, you can get your hands on some sweet, sweet coffee made by Found Familiar, our other sponsor, for 10% off using code WanderingDM if you either click on the panel down below or use the link in chat, foundfamiliar.com. And lastly, our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. We are so close to getting our set of branded D6s to give away to everyone. If you are interested, what's an atom in? Oh Jesus! We click on the purple torch down below.
Go back to the D6s, but also, do you really need us to explain Adam and Eve to you?
No. I hadn't read the whole sentence. That said, I am today going to play the gangrel private detective, Sid Zimmerman, in one half of the Vamp Dads, my second half being still apparently busy with that new Ravnos friend of his, who hasn't left his room for like 3 days. No, 3 days. I decided it was 3 days. So, going around the overlay, let us begin with my favorite son. Quentin, hi, how are you?
It was hashtag confirmed. Last episode, you guys should totally watch it on YouTube, but stay here right now. Let's see. I'm not quarantined, but I wish I was. World's crazy right now, but I'm really excited to do some vamp stuff. So in the Twitch chat, I am Dragon, Twitter Dragon, and in game when we playing Herschel Acres, the adorable Nosferatu.
And the last person to play for the moment is my favorite daughter. See, everyone's a favorite.
That's right. Yeah, but I'm still the favorite daughter, and I was the favorite first. So, cat attack. I, Alyssa, am playing the wonderful, darling art daughter herself, Auden St. James. It'll be nice to hop back into that, because it's been a minute.
Indeed, and to wrangle us all over New York City is our wonderful storyteller, Deirdre. Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How are we all doing? We're back in New York. Some things happened last time. After being set upon, after meeting Queenie and dealing with, I guess, possibly some Inquisition hunters. Alexander and Queenie retired to renew their acquaintanceship, shall we say, in a more private setting. Yeah, no, you're not. You don't care. But they then, while that happening, who knows? Time is amorphous. It's not linear. It's a big ball of timey-wimey stuff. But Auden, well, she was a little overwhelmed by a lot of things that happened with the Hunter's attack. And then, well, Sid and Herschel decided for some father-son bonding, they would go hunt down Sid's sire, Eckhard, up at a plastic surgeon's office at Park and 73rd. While they were on their way, they made a new friend. Well, Herschel made a new friend of a ghost named Lewis, a slightly shorter gentleman, very 80s, like almost accountant level styling, big brimmed glasses. He wanted so hard to be helpful. He was kind of helpful. He snuck around a little bit for you. You discovered that the building that this address that you tracked Eckhard's phone to is a multi-story, older 1940s or 1930s style, big marble, large, with a large center cage elevator in the middle of the stairwell that goes up and around. You found an amphitheater on the 3rd floor with Eckhard and 3 other vampires of some sort performing some sort of ritual around a dog, angry, mean dog-like thing chained in the center. Sid proved that celerity is the best thing for a vampire if they want to fight things, by basically messing shit up for all of the other vampires, and unfortunately Eckhard didn't roll very well. So he is currently in torpor with a stake through his heart. They discovered a secret passage to a secret library and arsenal and display of captured weapons area, where they appropriated a number of books, probably journals, handwritten stylings. And so they left this location with the angry, mean dog thing that Sid discovered was a gangrel in full frenzy that he managed to knock out. The torpor staked body of Eckhard Stein, a shit ton of books, and the 2 of you. And your Russian driver who didn't ask any questions whatsoever. Although you did promise him double as a tip. And that Alexander would be paying for that.
We sure did. I'll promise anything with Alexander's money.
You made your way back home, because it was getting quite late by this point. You left the unconscious, frenzied gangrel in the front room of the garden level, because in the back room of the garden level is still an unconscious Mr. Tibbs, the lupine police detective, who is not tied up. You did tie up the frenzied gangrel. So you have a lot of guests right now. And then you retreated for the night, or for the rest of the night. It is for the day, I should say. The day dawned. Nothing seems to be wrong as you awaken this night, Sid. You do hear a couple odd sounds and then sounds like somebody trying to be quiet, maybe, as they walk out the door, and the door opens and closes.
I'm gonna go after them.
You get to the front entryway and you see Queenie striding down the street.
I look back at the staircase, expecting to see Alexander, walk around or something, but not even.
No. You would see, as you look around, it's like a bunch of, like, there's a bunch of trash in the trash can and by the door. Somebody like cleaned out your fridge, but they were kind enough to put the garbage away and take the garbage to be ready to be taken out.
Thank you.
You just see a hand wave behind her, and then you're watching her, but there's like a film, like heat haze that kind of comes across her, and then she's gone.
All right, I'll go back inside. And going to call Rebecca.
You are going to call Rebecca. Which phone are you going to use to call Rebecca?
My own.
Okay, but your cell phone or your landline?
No, the landline.
Okay. So you go back and set yourself up in in your office?
Yep.
What does this look like as you're calling Rebecca?
I'm taking the phone and, doing the rotary thing.
Can you roll me perception alertness as you settle into your chair?
God damn it. Yeah, 2 seconds. My sheet is all screwed up. Perception alertness. Sight or hearing?
Sight.
Okay. Way too many successes.
No such thing.
5 successes.
You look around and the Victrola, which is still seated in this room, you realize has a dust jacket of a vinyl sitting on top of it. The doors to the record storage section. Okay, so a Victrola is actually like the size of a large wardrobe. Or, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 feet off the ground, 4 or 5 feet tall, has a flip up lid that you put the record in, and underneath you open it up and it's got speakers that come out, and then on the sides there are actual space to stack records. You'll notice that one of the doors to one of the left side door to where the records are stored is ajar, and your mug, with which you kind of use as half a paperweight and half a vessel to consume blood while you are contemplating whatever you're investigating, seems to be missing from your desk.
I just take a mental note of it. And I'll call Rebecca.
So, Sid, what's up? What do you need? How can I help you today?
I have the old man.
Oh, good. So that means that you're like ready to, mess around with your head?
Yeah.
All right. So whoever you bring in, and Eckard, so that I can totally mess with him, because he's like totally an asshole and I cannot wait for this. When am I expecting you?
Tonight.
And you hear her put her hand over the phone and call out in something else, the language that you don't speak. It's not German, it's not Hebrew, it's not English. It sounds kind of maybe a Romance language. I mean, you live in New York, so you could recognize Spanish if you heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds similar, but not quite.
Okay.
Cool. So when are we going to expect you?
Give me about an hour or two.
All right. Remember that the door, be careful because the door is like a little bit persnickety right now, but you should be fine.
All right.
All right. Bye then.
Bye.
Like,
And I'll wait for the kids to wake up.
cool.
So, what has Lewis been doing?
Herschel, roll me perception occult.
Oh, damn. There it is.
With 0 successes, you're not quite sure. You wake up and you're like, that Lewis came back with you, but you're not sure where he is at the moment.
Just to wake up and look around and, well, it's probably for the best that he's not here.
Who's not here? As he pops up right in front of your face.
Hey Lewis, I was referring to the other ghost in the wiring that's super upset.
You have a ghost in the wiring?
Yeah.
Is that safe? That doesn't seem safe.
Well, I mean, so he was a man and then he died and then we took something from his brain and then he wanted it back and I was like, I can't give it to you. You're a ghost. What are you going to do with it? And he was like, mine, mine, mine. And then he disappeared in the wiring and all the lights flickered. And I was like, and I haven't really dealt with that yet.
I don't think that's safe. I'm concerned. You should call an exterminator if you have things in the wiring.
Well, who are we going to call, Lewis?
I mean, I've heard about these things called Ghostbusters.
Okay, that was a movie. Are there actual Ghostbusters?
And you just see his face become very, very quizzical, and he kind of fades out of view.
I once saw an Italian plumber with a vacuum cleaner do a really good job.
I'll go upstairs. Probably to Sid's office. So where'd we put Eckhart last night? See, have we checked on him? Is he still okay?
Nah, I haven't checked anything.
I mean, are we sure he's still here?
No, he's in... Shit. I'm gonna go check on Eckhart.
Where did you leave Eckhart?
Probably in the coal chute. It's her body dump now.
You have managed to finally clear the remains of the professor out of the coal chute. So, sure, you dropped the torpor body of Eckhart in the coal chute. He is there. You can roll me perception alertness if you want to see anything else.
Sure. Do you get to re-roll the 10 when you have a 1?
You do.
Okay. I have 0 successes. I'm blind as a bat.
He's there with a stake in him.
Alright, he's still here. We have to bring in the Rebecca. I thought Auden and you might want to come with.
Yeah, That seems all right. I mean, it would be interesting to know about your past.
Yeah.
Maybe you're like a super vampire killer from the past or something.
I don't think so. I just think I might have had a run-in with the Tremere before New York or something.
Crazy how that happens.
Yeah. Alright, let's go see if Auden is woken up yet.
Auden, what are you doing as you wake up to the sounds of Herschel and Sid?
Well, I've slept with earplugs for the last several days because Queenie and Alexander make a lot of noise. And
I mean, it's only been one day. Well, no matter what Sid says, it's only been one day.
but it's been like war for me. You don't understand.
This is true.
Auden, the least horny of all of these characters, is just sitting there like, I mean, good for you, but like, also stop. Just
True.
like college all over again. So I think eventually she'll make her way downstairs.
You start making your way downstairs. Could you roll me perception alertness?
I can.
Or excuse me, perception occult.
Oh, whoops, perception occult. Good thing you caught that before I hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't have anything to help with this, I don't think. Yeah, it's fine. Ooh, 5 successes plus... Yeah, 5 successes.
There is a shorter, 5'6", 5'7" gentleman. Very curly, 80s-ish overdone hair. Very pale Jewish looking. Large glasses, Oxford button shirt, slacks. Kind of hesitantly peeking around the at the like junction box and that's in the hallway of the main foyer, like looking at all of the electronics, very concerned looking.
I mean, this guy and I are the same height, so I'm just kind of like staring at somebody my height going, did somebody lose somebody that looks like an extra from Wall Street?
He does not look that dressy.
Extra from Wall Street post-partying? Like Wolf of Wall Street, but like the bad scenes?
Okay, yeah. Like a very, very nerdy accountant looking kind of person.
Somebody, anybody, whatever, I'm going to the kitchen. Screw this. I'm just gonna walk to the kitchen and pull out a blood bag and not even investigate it.
There are only 2 blood bags left. One is your vegan.
Well, everything is awful. I don't like any of this. I think I have to go shopping. I'm just gonna send a text to Elizabeth and be like, do you mind being my shopping buddy? I'm almost out of food.
I made a delivery yesterday.
I don't see a delivery, ...
There
The
was
thinking emoji with the monocle.
there was a one for you and one for Mr. Erickson and one for Mr. Zimmerman.
I'll go back to the front door, I guess, and look.
You will see a giant pile of blood bags that have been drained in the garbage next to the front door.
I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to her and be like, I think we have a pest problem. And then send a crown emoji.
Oh. I will address this immediately.
Thank you. You the best.
Indeed.
And I'm just gonna glare upstairs and try to see if I can figure out where Sid is, at least.
Could
Maybe
you roll
Herschel.
me perception alertness in the hall?
Boy. -1 success. I'm so hungry and focused on food, I notice jack shit.
You're focused on being angry at the massive pile of that's very neatly put next to the door, so you can have the garbage go out on time. But such is life. So you would hear Sid and Herschel in the Sid's office and this ghost is still kind of like, now he's upside down looking at the where the chandelier in the foyer, where the hits the ceiling, that kind of light where the electronics come from, and he's like looking at that, very concerned.
I'm just gonna like stare at him and just be like, this is already, like, mentally note how terrible this morning is and just walk into Sid's office.
Oh, hey.
Did any of you lose some weird dude that's crawling on the ceiling looking at chandeliers?
Nope.
Oh, nerd guy. Big glasses.
Yeah, like, it just reminds me like of an intern that partied too hard and like can't keep up.
Yeah, he's our new intern.
Gross. So, yeah, he's not living, but he's not one of us.
Yeah, I can see and talk to ghosts, and
Yeah.
he started following us yesterday, and he was very mildly helpful.
Very
So-
mildly.
So you brought him home?
He
Haven't we been through enough without you just bringing every stray thing home?
Who has a dog here?
Sid?
Me.
I'm 100% like petting the dog right now. This is Sid's dog.
Well, you see, so I didn't technically bring that home or anything else here. Anyway, no, so he helped us, so we owe him a favor. I don't know what that is. So I told him that we have another ghost in our electricity somewhere. By the way, the professor like freaked out one night. Yeah, so I haven't seen him since. He might be gone. And then, yeah, he's just looking at stuff now, I guess. He's pretty harmless, I believe.
Fascinating.
Oh, by the way, we got Eckert last night. That was pretty cool.
Eckerd. You mean shithead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what you
Yeah.
call people.
He got one good blow in, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, so did Queenie, apparently. Well,
Probably more than one.
your room's not nearly close enough to know what I had to hear all night. I have learned a lot about our dad. So much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I like new mom at all. Let me tell you something. If she's gonna be new mom, she needs to not take my shit, because I am out of food.
I didn't know anybody but you like that vegan free-range blood shit.
Well, apparently she does, because there is nothing left.
Yeah, the perks of inviting a Ravnos home.
Yeah, she's certainly ravenous for something.
Ravnos to the fridge. Am I right?
Auden's definitely like, she's grumpy and she wants to like recognize Herschel for doing a good job, but she's not going to.
Well, we're gonna go visit Rebecca tonight. Fix my noggin. Do you wanna come?
Yeah, sure. I think that would be a
Well,
good
it's either
use of
that or
time.
you stay home with the intern.
No, I'm not. I don't want. Please don't make
His
me
name's
hang out with him.
Lewis. He's okay.
I'm not gonna remember Spewis's name. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't care.
What's
I
his
want to go with you guys.
What's his name again?
Lewis.
Oh, yeah. He's very forgettable.
Yeah.
I
think the
say
only reason I
probably
haven't
looking at
forgotten-
him. Uh-huh.
I think the only reason I haven't forgotten him is because this morning has sucked. So I'm ready to go do whatever he wants. Also, every time I've looked at Lewis in the 20 seconds I've looked at him, I always hear it's like Huey Lewis in the news just blaring in my head, and I feel like I'm living in hell.
I mean, you might be.
Please get me out of this house. I feel like I'll approach the second death if I stay.
Teenagers.
I mean, I don't think we're leaving.
I'm 23.
You're a teenager to Sid, though.
You're a teenager to Sid.
I never said I wasn't.
All right, who wants to help me lift Grandpappy out of the coal chute?
I think Herschel does.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not really strong, but I'll try.
Just be careful not to knock the stake out. Anything else is fair game. And I make it a point to drop the body as we're going up the stairs. Because, oops. You're muted.
We each grab a leg and drag him up like backwards up the stairs.
Yeah.
Can you each roll me perception alertness?
Six successes.
Sid, you're starting to notice that the stake is not as deep in or secure as you thought it was.
Son of a bitch. I push it back down.
You hear a soft as you do so.
I tap him on the side of his, like on the cheek. And I go like, you go back to sleep, asshole. I figure the stake is long enough to go through the body.
I mean, you broke off a railing from the, little kneeboard, rail at the in the amphitheater, so it's not going to be longer than 18 inches, at most.
18 inches is long enough to go through.
Yes, the torso.
Ribcage, the torso. All right.
As long as it doesn't break inside on, like the sternum or something.
Yeah.
Has it broken inside the sternum?
I don't know, but I don't want to take it out to see. I'm going to push on it a little bit more.
Just roll me strength, just straight strength.
Just... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to move. It doesn't seem to move. If that -1 success, not going that far.
All right, let's go see Rebecca.
You make your way. How are you going with this dead body?
We're gonna put him in the car again. And drive to Rebecca's.
What car? You're going to call for a car?
Oh, I'm gonna call the Russian driver. Yeah.
Yes, your friendly neighborhood Russian driver, who it's really weird. He's always like 10 minutes away.
It's like he lives in his car or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Did we not pay him well enough to live in an actual place and he lives in his car?
You don't
I don't
pay
know.
Well,
me.
his car is very fancy.
You'll also realize that he's had at least 3 cars that you've been in. You know that.
There's no way Anna notices that. There's no way she's aware of cars.
Well, no, you would have noticed because, like, one was significantly bigger than the other. It's like one was an SUV, one was a crossover, so it's not like you necessarily noticed what kind of car it was, but you noticed like, oh, I was closer to Herschel in this car than I was in that one.
Oh, there's leg room in this one.
Exactly. No, Kane is not your driver.
If only Kane was our driver.
Kane, you want Kane to be your driver? I don't know that you want Kane to be your driver.
He is in Bloodlines.
True. True. You make your way cross town back to the storefront that, as you pull up, looks like the storefront usually does. There's a slight haze over it when you look at it, but it looks like the front of the store to Rebecca's.
She said something about watch out for the door.
How do we watch out for it?
With your eyes, duh. I'm just gonna text Rebecca that we're outside.
She responds, it's like, okay, cool, you can come right in, it's fine. Just like,
we can
don't
go
touch
right
anything.
in. I hold up the phone and I say, look, we can go right in.
Alright then. Let's go.
But I'm walking behind both of them just in case something goes wrong.
We just heave ho Eckert in first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Herschel, roll me for manipulation occult. Difficulty 7.
Oh no.
As you walk through, you feel this, like, if you've ever been in one of those very fancy showers with the side jets that kind of go up and down,
Mhm.
it kind of feels like that, like almost a decontamination shower as you walk through the door. But it's not like you're wet or anything, it just, like, something felt like that.
I look at Sid and Auden. Do they look any different? Like something weird just happened?
Nope, absolutely nothing. They felt nothing.
Well, this shop's always full of surprises.
Mm-hmm. And they have something you don't. You can hear from the back. You can bring him back here. I think I've got like everything set up.
Alright.
Auden, you in particular would notice there is less of a Herschel smell than usual.
Herschel, do you smell that?
No.
You don't smell anything? You smell nothing?
I mean, just the normal smells of Rebecca's shop.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're getting at. Let's get Sid's memory back.
Did it stop smelling like shit around Herschel?
It did. It's like you can tell that Rebecca has some good herbs and spices going on in here. There's some incense, there's some other scents, and then gets a little closer to Herschel back's like, just a little hint of shit. Just a little one.
You guys are ridiculous. Let's get this over with. Let's get Sid's memory back.
I agree.
Curious to see what happened.
Yeah. I'm still gonna pat Herschel on the head. And then pull out a little hand sanitizer and wash my hands.
Yes, you walk through the front of this shop that's, you know, very kind of kitschy, new age, hippie, long glass counter in the front with a number of silver medallions that, you know, it's like, and crystals and, you know, things for every, you know, to improve your mood and help you, you know, deal with the negative energies in your life. You walk through the hanging beaded curtain to the back where you hear Rebecca's voice, you walk through what looks like a, kitchen with subway tile in black and white, that long 6-foot table, refrigerator. The other door to the back is open. You can hear her call, "Come on back here. It'll be fine. You're fine. Just come on back here." Into that large smell of damp earth and space that definitely doesn't really belong in New York. It's almost like you're inside a warehouse, but it's like a forest, sort of. The paths are lit with some sort of light source that looks almost like a level of bioluminescent rocks of some kind that dot along the way. And back to that large clearing where Sid and Alex had their, last attempt to break, Franny's control over them. And the geas that she put on them to prevent him from saying her name. And you see that she's laid out a number of things in a circle, what looks like the cushion off of a beach lounger, and like a nice pillow has been set up at one end, and then you see 4 spikes, with the you get at a garden center, so you can put the dog on a leash in the yard and spike it down. There are 4 of them around on the ground to the other side.
Are they roughly spaced out to fit 2 ankles and 2 wrists?
Yes.
Ah, kinky.
It's not for you. Unless you're into that, but that's between you and Sabrina.
And, well, I would say Alexander, but all has changed.
Ooh, you have details?
Remind me later.
Okay,
I think first we need to tie up Sid's daddy, as it were.
Ugh. And she kind of you see that she's wearing, for her, slightly formal-ish attire. It's a long skirt, black, floor length, kind of one of those summer weight kind of maxi skirts things, but it's all black. She's got a black peasant shirt going, cinched at the wrists and kind of mostly done up at the collar, but it's off the shoulder. And you see on a short chain a silver Star of David at her throat. Her hair is down. This is the first time you've actually seen her with her hair like this. Kind of really embracing that witch vibe. All right, so can you just tie him up to that?
Yeah, sure.
I'll help secure him down too.
I'll tie him up real tight.
Okay, so can you roll me then Dex security?
Ooh. Difficulty?
I mean, he's unconscious, so we'll go with 6.
Okay. 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. And Herschel's helping. So that's 1 success from Herschel, but 3 successes, so combined 4 successes. He's pretty tied up, pretty tight. You realize when you like go to tie him to the spikes, that the spikes aren't, they're in the earth, but there's something more secure holding them even further down. It's almost like somebody put cement and cemented them down.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure that, this isn't just, like no dog and or gangrel, no matter how strong, is gonna surprise. Okay, so then, like, Sid, do you currently like your current outfit?
Not particularly attached to my clothes.
Okay, good, because odds are you're gonna get like really messy.
That's how I like it.
Again, that's between you and Sabrina, or maybe you and Alex. Like I said, I know a really good couples therapist.
Oh, I think
Just-
they're gonna need it.
Are you into the business of adopting children?
Not in like years.
Damn. Alright, what do I need to do?
You claimed them, you can't return them.
Wait,
Ah!
so you used to do it?
She turns and looks at you deadpan and goes, "Yes, I was a witch in the woods and people would leave me their children."
Oh my god, Herschel, you just can't ask those kinds of things. Jeez.
Why not?
Haven't you heard of manners?
Haven't you ever heard of curiosity and information?
And you know what curiosity does to the cat, don't you?
I'm a dog person.
Yeah,
like you smell
but
like one.
also satisfaction brought it back. So
All right, then, if you're done,
yeah, where do I sit?
well, you're gonna lie down right there.
Hmm.
And you can see that the way the beach lounger has been set up, it's your head would be about your head and would Eckhart's would be about parallel to each other with about
Okay,
a six would be about here. So theoretically you could just literally turn your head and bite his neck.
Or give him a kiss.
I don't think that's what that he wants to do. But whatever. All right. So like I need you two to kind of stand over there and over there. And she points to Auden to stand to the southeast corner and Herschel to stand to the northwest corner. Off this little like grassy mound that's there.
Yeah, I'll do as she instructs.
Cool.
Oh yeah, definitely comply.
Cool. So then, and about like, I'll let you know, and then all you're gonna have to do, Sid, is bite Eckhart.
Want me to bite him?
Yes, and technically you're allowed to drain him, but it's not really gonna count as diablerie because I'm gonna mess things up so it won't work. Oh. And she kind of looks at what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do it myself. You want to know the real sad part about this? Is she kind of like steps over you and then walks around the side of Eckhart and she kind of leans over. He needs to be awake for it. And she pulls the stake out one-handed.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Hey, Herschel, make sure that he can't run away.
Yeah.
And you'll realize that you're standing basically at Eckhart's feet. So if he tried to get up, you would be able to deal with it, theoretically.
In theory, everything works.
In theory, everything works.
Yeah, I don't like that.
She's gonna have to roll for it. I'm not gonna make it automatic here. All right. So you're there and she like kind of shakes her skirts out. You see Sid, you can roll me perception alertness.
Nope, I see shit.
Yep, with that -1 success, you see jack shit.
Yeah.
You're kind of slightly, I don't know. Sid, how are you feeling about this?
I'm nervous. Like, for once in his life, Sid's nervous about something.
Does he trust Rebecca?
Yes.
Is he nervous for himself, or is he nervous for Herschel and Auden?
No, he's nervous for himself.
Okay, good. I was about to be concerned. All right. So she gestures with a hand, and a bunch of lights light up, kind of like these bioluminescent rocks you see are run around the outside of this knoll in a circle. It kind of gives off this white blue light. And she kind of turns to Herschel and Auden and says, all right. Just be careful. Just be careful. That's what we're going to go with. It's not that big a deal. Everything's fine. I have totally done this before. Okay.
Is there any way to roll like an insight on her to be like, has she done this before?
I don't think we need to.
There is a roll. It's perception, empathy. That is your.
This is more for Auden than it is for anyone else.
Yeah,
those
she's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
No successes.
Yep, she is a very professional individual.
It's like that the doubt creeps in, like, is this a good idea? Whatever, I'm just gonna trust Rebecca implicitly.
Like, is this a bad thing? And then we like think about like everything Rebecca's done for us. So like, she probably knows what she's doing.
Listen, if she hurts us, like, pretty sure it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to this coterie.
Yeah, you see, what's gonna happen is she's gonna like drain Sid's life force by accident, and then give it to him, and then I'm gonna just yeet out of the room.
It'll be like some Scooby-Doo looking shit of like Herschel and Auden going, whoop, pew!
Oh, Daphne and Scoob. I get the Daphne and Scoob vibes from Auden and Herschel.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, you see her start to chant in Hebrew. Sid, you recognize the language, but you early on, the words start to not make sense. It's like you should understand what the words mean, but there's an energy, a force with them that just take the perception of meaning from the words themselves and take it out of your mind. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it just becomes this low-level drone in the background. I need to roll for her. Because I said I would do this as she rolls. And you are willing and allowing this, correct?
Yes.
Cool, good. That helps her. There we go. 7 successes. Not bad. Not bad at all. At some point, you just feel like this level of dulled meditation. It's kind of become this background noise. You feel a rising pressure, and it starts to become, just zone out, almost as if you're like in an isolation chamber, and you just, all you hear now is this droning noise and this feeling almost of weight, that heavy atmosphere weight that you just feel, and you just feel calmed. Sid, feel calmed. Herschel, Auden, you feel this rise of electricity in the air. You see little sparks start shooting off between these rocks around the outside with this bioluminescence. And you hear her voice start to raise in pitch, not necessarily, and increasing slightly in volume. Auden and Herschel, if you look at Rebecca, you would notice that her hair is lighter. It's not quite as black as you used to seeing it.
Do I hear anything? Like, With the weird cacophony sounds.
It's almost quiet.
Okay, that's deeply upsetting, all things considered.
But it's not like unnervingly quiet. It's like that music is lulled to a almost monotone meditation, like wind chime meditation at a spa, that level of quiet. Probably the quietest it's been for Auden in a while. But,
yeah, absolutely.
And at about Herschel, Auden, maybe after like 3, 4, 5 minutes of this going on, you hear the words change, her voice change, pitch, tone, language. It's entirely different. Sid, at that point, you hear Rebecca in English, as she normally sounds to you, say, all right, now, like, I need you to bite his neck and then just keep draining him. Cool. Roll me an attack roll.
Yes. And just for fun, I'm gonna use my celerity. Difficulty 6?
Mm-hmm.
For 5 successes.
Cool. I need to do a thing. Cool. What? Why are you being a butt? Why will you not roll? There we go. Cool. As you do so, you realize that you can make eye contact with Eckhard, and he is conscious at this point. And trying to strain against both the magic that's here and the bite that you're putting onto him. He does not, however, manage to escape you, and you will recover 4 blood points as you drain him.
Nom.
Now I need you to roll me willpower. 7.
Difficulty 7?
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 successes.
You feel, Eckhard's personality, the force of his personality, trying to overwhelm you. But it doesn't manage to do so. With the help that Rebecca is giving you, it's almost like you know that he would be doing so, but she's manipulating things and changing the normal things that would happen if a child continued to drink from their sire beyond the initial turning. And then this goes on for another 3, 4, 5 minutes. It seems endless to you, Sid. And then all of a sudden there's a streak of lightning that comes from each of the bioluminescent stones surround and strikes Eckhard. And you can no longer, there's nothing left to drain from him. And she says, you can stop now. I need you to roll perception empathy.
Am I a good, empathetic person? What's the difficulty?
6.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You release Eckhard. You see him there, oddly human-like. And then you pass out.
Where?
Rebecca, what happened? Did it work?
I mean, yeah, it's not like these things like aren't okay. So they're kind of instantaneous, but they do take some effort, and like he had to put some effort into it. It's a lot of work
Is he okay? Why is he unconscious?
because he just, like had. It's like do you remember like when you were younger and you had like Thanksgiving dinner and you ate everything at Thanksgiving dinner, and then you couldn't like had to take a nap for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then you could go back for dessert
So you're saying he's only going to be asleep for 20 minutes?
at most.
What about Eckhart? Is he
What do we do with Eckerd?
dead?
I mean, he's not dead yet. He's not, well, like, final dead yet. I'm good. Oh, here, Herschel, can you stab him with this again? Because I think, like, Sid kind of wants to end that.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah.
There's no sound. He is entirely undone. All right, then. So, time for coffee. Sid can take a nap. We'll come back and get him in, like, 20 minutes. It's fine.
And this is all gonna be okay? Like, what was the lightning?
Oh, that was, like... No, that's way beyond your level of understanding, and I don't need to explain it to you.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, I was gonna get coffee.
I'll go with you. Because,
Yeah, I was just gonna go into the kitchen and start the coffee machine and stuff. It's fine.
yeah, I'll take anything right now. So,
I'll wait here and make sure everything's all right.
Don't touch anything.
What do I do if something changes? Do I just yell for you?
Yes. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
this seems like a trap, Herschel.
Herschel, do I need to actually make you not touch anything? Because I can do that.
I don't plan on touching anything. I just want to make sure that Eckhart doesn't man-Hulk out of here and that Sid is okay.
I mean, he's mostly
Aw.
mortal right now, so it's not going to do jack shit.
Look at Herschel being such a good boy.
Quiet, you. I would probably do the same for you.
You did kind of sell me out. So I don't believe you.
Unintentionally.
Okay, so I see that there's some family tension here.
It was
Yeah,
a
you
practice.
wanna grab that coffee? I'm ready.
Okay, we should get coffee. And you said you wanted to share some information with me. I think this is a perfect time for you to share information with me.
Oh yeah, you ready? You ready to hear about all of the things Alexander got into?
Always. I mean, it helps make sure that I can improve their relationship. Do you know how long it's been since and she like starts walking with you out to the kitchen,
And,
talking
like,
about
Oh yeah, and like the details of just like, you know, Queenie and Alexander and everything that Auden heard it. She's just like, she's leaving, like she's slightly hyperbolic, but also not that hyperbolic about it because it was pretty intense.
the two of you are going to go as she like makes coffee, turns on the drip coffee pot, gets things going. Herschel,
I really want to touch everything.
roll willpower. Just 6. Okay, you don't touch everything.
Darn it.
you feel a really strong desire, and you're pacing around this knoll on this like gravel path, and you see these things, and like you go and you're like, I'm about to touch something, then you hear in the back of your head of like, you just see Rebecca's face is like telling you not to touch it, and you're like, okay, fine, I can control myself for right now, but I really, really want to.
Oh yeah, I want to touch the lightning rods. I want to. So how does Sid and Eckhart look? Like, are they both breathing? Are they?
Well, Eckhart's in torpor because he's stabbed,
Mm-hmm.
but he looks oddly human.
Does he smell human?
No.
Okay.
He just, I don't know. There's something to your perception that just, he's not as vampire as he was, maybe?
Mhm.
I don't know. Sid looks like he's enjoying a really good nap.
Does he have
But
like,
he
a big
looks-
stomach?
Well, no, it actually doesn't look like that. But it looks like he's actually asleep, which is odd for vampires because you don't really sleep. When you retire from the day, you basically die. Like your body just kind of, yeah, you're dead, a dead body. But Sid looks like he's, in actual REM sleep. You see motion behind the eyelids, you see breathing-ish. I mean, as much as Sid ever breathes. It's normal, almost human-like sleep.
I'll just go sit by the door. Wait.
Okay. 20 minutes are going by while Auden and Rebecca get coffee and Herschel is on guard. Sid, for you, it's like you're watching a movie of your own life. And it's everything of your life. And it starts at the beginning with your parents in the tenement in New York. You go through the war again, World War II. You go through returning and your private investigator practice. You go through looking for this kid. You go through down to the Bowery, finding the dead mob guy, looking back over your shoulder, seeing Eckhart for the first time, having him knock you out. You wake up, he's explaining this whole masquerade thing, the gangrel, but you can pause at any time. You pause at any time?
Not yet.
You react instinctively. The claws come out, you scratch him across the face, damaging the eye and leaving a scar that he will have for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You flee. You come across Rebecca on the side of the road, who you realize is also looking for this same Jewish boy. She helps you into the shop. You are calmed, and she gives a brief, helps you out. She has some like cow's blood that she pulls out of the fridge, and she has a whole discussion about like, well, I know it isn't exactly like, well, no, she wouldn't be the Valley Girl then. Hold on. I know it isn't exactly what you need, but I believe this will help. And she gives you a brief rundown, helps you calm down. You stay with her maybe a couple days, discovering what you can about what you are. And she'll help you decide that you can't stay in New York anymore. So you leave. And she helps you get to LA, where she knows some people. You get to LA. You have a new practice, a new investigations. You decide that you're going to style it after Sam Spade because, you know, the movies, you're in LA. You should look like the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
The film noirs are a big thing right now. Enjoyable. You know, you're a little, I don't know. What's Sid like when he's less stressed?
He dresses more sharply. But his demeanor doesn't change that much.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit less of an ass. But the snark doesn't go away.
No, still snarky. Less dick, but still snarky.
Yeah.
Fly dresser. You start hanging out now that you're, you know, doing all right. You're not making massive money. You're not doing, you know, you're not a famous, you know, Hollywood famous or anything, but you do all right. You've got some steady clientele who give you some steady work. You've got the rise of divorce in the Hollywood crowd that can always pay the bills, even if it isn't always to your taste.
Mm-hmm.
You're enjoying the good music, and you're back. You realize that you've been followed for a couple days, and you're in your office, you're taking dictation, and it's that same recording that you have on the Victrola. This recording of you saying, somebody's been following me. I don't know who it is. Then, while the recording merely says, what the hell are you doing here? You see 3 guys break through the door. 2 shoot you immediately. Simple bullets. Human response, even if they are 45s. You go to defend yourself, like we expect Sid to.
Mm-hmm.
How would Sid defend himself when he's getting shot at?
I think his first, especially back then, that he didn't necessarily have all the powers he has today, would be a very human response where he would dive for cover first. And probably try to grab like a gun to fire back at them.
You have a couple hidden around. One, the old Colt 1911 you were issued by the Army. You, like most members of the Army, didn't really give it back after the war. So many didn't. It ended up in your personal. You fire back. You hear it ting as the bullet bounces off of one of the guys that you hit. The third figure emerges from the back, and he's faster, so much faster than these 2, and just backhands you across the room.
Oof.
And you realize, as you start to stand up, as you hit the wall, that Eckhart's back in front of you with his hand pinning you up on the wall, just a little bit off the ground by the throat. And he goes, So good to see you, son. And he is choking you unconscious. You pass out. But you are still watching this. Again, you're watching this as if it's a movie. The image fades and comes back, and you're missing your shirt and your shoes, and your hands are chained to the ground, and there are people around you chanting, and you're not sure what the hell they're saying. You're like, some of it's words in German that kind of, sort of mean something, but then there's this sound like other stuff, and you're not sure anything. And then all of a sudden you feel angry and scared, and angry and scared at the same time, and wanting to destroy these figures. And you watching realize that whatever these people are doing, it's driving you, Sid, into frenzy. And you're frenzied. And you are well, what does Sid the gangrel look like when he's full on frenzied?
Oh, I think it would look sort of the same as when modern Sid is going to battle. The claws are out, the fangs are sharpened, the eyes glow, and he tries to just get anything that can fall within reach and rip it to shred.
But there's nothing within reach. And you feel you can't get any closer, and then you feel a prick in your arm. And you look down, and you, watching Sid, look, and you realize that there's that's a modern Sid would recognize it. That's a blood dialysis machine.
The what?
You see a IV going into your arm, into a tube attached to a machine with two centrifuges that are spinning opposite directions. And then you see vials being filled with half of what's in this centrifuge blood thing. It looks clear-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, Sid, who's frenzied, pass out. And it skips again. And you're in a hospital bed. Mm-hmm. And you see the three figures from that have the three different reactions to these artificial turnings. And you are chained to the bed. You cannot move. You're drained. The Sid in the bed feels like you just went 10 rounds with Muhammad Ali, and you are like out of it. But you can hear the doctors, you think are doctors, whoever these people are, talking about the effects and timing and how long does it take for this one to go full monster, and do you think this one will, self-immolate like the third test subject? And we've had better luck when combining, the Bruja and the Gangrel, but somehow the Gangrel needs to be the base composition. And you see the third bed just suddenly bolt up and self-immolate. The figure burns, just spontaneous combustion. You pass out again. You are again in this room with these figures, again with this machine, being forced into frenzy, being forced into it. But there's something different this time. There's something that you see that this Sid in the that you see, and you notice that the Sid in the chains doesn't. You notice that one of the figures is a different person and seems to be saying things a little bit off from the rest. And you notice that they aren't chanting. No, they're chanting, but their chanting is off from the other three. And they're chanting looking down, looking at the stakes that are holding these chains to the ground. And all of a sudden, the chain on the left arm is loose, and you manage to pull it free. And you are free. And what would a frenzied Sid do in that situation?
Kill everyone.
And you do, except for this one figure who you watching realize had backed up out of the door, out of the room, and then just disappeared like smoke. And you are free.
Did I get any... Like, is there any way I can see their face? Me
Like I
looking
said,
at this like a movie.
You could pause it at any time. And then if you want to try and get more detail, you can roll me perception alertness.
Yeah, I will, like, the moment the chain loosens and I realize that this person is probably helping, I want to try to know who it is. Alertness, you said? Perception alertness?
Perception alertness.
For 5 successes.
It's not a person you recognize. It doesn't seem to be an individual that you know of, or at least not one that you are pretty sure you've seen before. They definitely seem... Well, you know that they are not Nosferatu or Simichi, because those would be really obvious. They look... it's odd. They look Persian, sort of. They are... You know, that level of Iranian, Near Eastern, but they have a very kind of... They're young in features, male, or at least you think they're male. No beard. Their hair is styled in a very Elvis pompadour. And there's a, just hint of blue in their eyes. They're like a smoky gray, but mostly, but with a little hint of blue. But they look like Persian, maybe, but not anyone you've ever seen before. Definitely don't look like someone you recognize. You could recognize them in the future if you wanted to,
But now I have a picture, like a mental image of who they are.
You do. You now have a mental image of who they are. Do you continue?
Yeah.
So you watch yourself rampage through this space, and you kill 3 of the 4 figures that are in the room. You watch yourself break through into where it was the hospital room behind, and you shatter glass and kill anyone who's in your path as things... You destroy machinery, probably not intending to, but suddenly you are lighting a space on fire, more because of the destruction that you're causing and less because of any intentionality on your part.
Mm-hmm.
And you're fleeing LA, and you've left, and you're running. You're still running because you're still frenzied, and you're run out of the city, and you run for a while. You collapse. It's in the woods somewhere. You continue. There's this period of time where it's just you frenzied in the woods, killing whoever basically you come across to keep yourself fed. Slowly making your way. You realize that you're making your way east.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're not sure why. You hear a car. Then you see this figure in the car with the radio playing, and you, as a frenzied, go to attack them, to just feed on them the way you've been feeding on anyone you could. And you stop, and your eyes start to blink, and you watch Sid as you start to come back to yourself, as music that's playing, Frank Sinatra,
God damn it.
starts to calm the frenzy. And you shake your head and you calm yourself down, and you realize that you have no clue where you are. You walk up to the car, knock on the window, say, "Hey, I'm real sorry. My friends were assholes and left me out here. Can you give me a ride to town?" Guy's like, "Sure, happy to. Where are you from?" Where would you answer, Sid?
New York.
"Oh, good. It's only across the river. I've been trying to get there. Do you have any good places you recommend?"
What the fuck you mean across the river?
"Well, it's just the... You okay? You must have gotten real lost. We're only in Jersey City. It's not that far."
Let me Google map something.
Mm-hmm.
I ran a lot of miles, apparently.
I didn't say you did it all at once. You were lost in the woods for a while there. And you slowly realize that the fashions are very different. The looks are very different. And the guy drops you at the bridge, George Washington Bridge. You walk across, and you're in Manhattan. But it's not 1957. It's 1970.
Oof.
And you walk down the street. You're disoriented. You're lost. It's 1970s fashion are very different than what Sid is used to. Yes, fashion in quotation marks. Some things worked, some no. And you get back downtown, the only place you really recognize, because you realize that you still have an office. You still have an office on the Lower East Side. And you're walking down the street, and you come to Delancey Street, and then Grand, and there's a shop and a figure in a very different kind of peasant dress, very hippie looking, feathers in her hair, hasn't quite given up 1969 yet. Definitely probably just came back from Woodstock. Rebecca, who kind of blinks and invites you in for a drink. And that's where you can start to remember how things start to speed up. And
Mm-hmm.
it's about then that Sid wakes up on this grassy knoll with Herschel looking at him, Rebecca and Auden talking about over coffee about Alexander's romantic entanglements. And we're going to take a break for the afternoon.
Cool. All right, then. Stick around, everyone. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for some more vampire. Hello, everyone. It's us again.
Hello, welcome back. As Sid, you are slowly coming around. You're lying on this lounge cushion. You've had a really good nap, but you were like lucid dreaming, so you remember everything that you just experienced.
Oh, great.
And as you turn your head to the right, there's a unconscious Eckhard, still staked.
How are you feeling?
A little hazy.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
God. Apparently, Princess Carolyn really wants to be a star. So, come here. You want to be a star? Be a star. Hello, this is Eckhard Stein today.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna kill your cat.
Please don't. I like her too much.
Do you remember what happened, Sid?
Yeah. He's gonna have to answer a lot of questions.
Rebecca, he's awake.
Oh, that's great. We'll be right there. Okay, so you were saying that, really?
Like, it's one of those things that, like, I think I wouldn't feel so weird about it if he wasn't, like, a father figure, but at the same time, like, you never want all of these details. And then, like, what does that mean? Like, is she gonna come around more? Is this, like, a one-time thing?
I mean, I do not know, but I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. Everything will be fine.
I just wish she wouldn't take my things, you know? Like, I don't, you know, obviously everybody, you know, we're sex positive here, but, like, seriously. Have some boundaries, at least a little.
I'm sure. I mean, well, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to? We'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she like kind of comes out, and she's carrying like 2 mugs when she comes out of the kitchen. One for her in her left hand that's very fresh black coffee, and then she's holding another one of just, you both can smell it from there, like really strong blood. As she walks up to you, Sid. Breakfast?
Yes, please.
Okay, good, because this is like... Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. You're not going to have a problem with that one. Human. Even.
Good. What is it served in?
Just a mug.
I'm gonna drink the mug. Like, just, ah!
All right, then. So your brain is fixed?
Most of it, I believe.
Okay, good. And then she just kind of turns and looks at Eckhard, still staked and chained to the ground. What are you going to do with that?
I need to thank you.
For?
I forgot to change the title of the stream.
Well.
It now just dawned on me.
I'll change it in post, it's fine.
I need to thank you.
For?
Picking me up the street.
Which time?
All of them.
Well, it's been very helpful, and you've done a lot of things for me. So, friends.
Yeah. Alright.
You sure you're okay?
I'm still a little confused. And, like, I'll relay the whole memories to everyone.
Okay, so what about that is confusing?
Well, so they were using my blood or gangrel blood to create whatever fake vampires. I just don't know why.
I mean, like, I can't tell you why. That I can't help. All I can do is help you figure out what was in physically. Okay, so like, full disclosure, I did actually do the medical degree for a brief period of time. It was a nice divergence, but whatever. So like, I can recover memories that have actually been written and imprinted, but if there was no ability to create a memory, then I can't force you to recall it.
No. It's just he's gonna have to answer to that.
Oh, that's all on him. And I'm not messing around in his brain because I don't like him. He's a shithead. Anyone else I need to fix? Or she kind of like turns and looks at Herschel and Auden.
I'm
fine.
sure that'll be another day. She just kind of gestures at Herschel.
Auden's hearing music and stuff still.
Okay, like I can't fix that because she's actually been like physically changed, and therefore that's actually a good thing. You just need to convince the prince that you're gonna do nice things for her, and she might help you.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on that.
Okay then. So you gonna hang around here?
Yeah, Sid, where do you want to confront him at?
Yeah, I guess what's the next step?
Because you're not doing that with this here.
No, we'll bring him back home.
Oh, cool. Let's make home even more of a weird place.
Like I said, I know a really good couples therapist. I also know a really good exorcist if you need one.
Oh, that.
Herschel, do you want one just in case?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'll take the number anyway,
I'll text it to you, it's fine.
just in case. You never know. Herschel might get sick of Lars or whatever his name is. Lance?
It's
Lois.
Lois?
Lewis.
That's for the 80s.
Lewis.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
All right then. Bye. And take that when you go.
Yeah, I'll untie Eckhard and bring him with him. Bring him with me.
You make your way outside, out the door. Herschel, can you roll manipulation occult again? You walk through the door. Nothing happens.
Well, I guess we go to the car or call the driver.
The driver's sitting in the car outside. It's been about an hour.
Back to the brownstone. Go.
Yeah, back home.
You really like telling that driver what to do, don't you, Herschel?
I mean, he has to know where to go.
You would realize, Auden, that the driver doesn't do anything until Sid tells him.
I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm just gonna like keep that in the back of my head and like.
That's fine by me.
So, you make your way back home.
Home, yeah.
Where are we gonna string him up at?
Huh?
Where are you going? What you doing? What's going on?
Coal shoot.
Back to the coal chute?
Yep, back to the coal shoot with him.
Are you sure you don't want to like tie him up or something first? Just in case? I don't know. It's your father figure.
No, you're right.
Well, I mean, if we have to like wake him up, don't we have to get him some blood or something to get him conscious? Or
Yep. But first, we're gonna tie him up, or chain him up, or whatever.
I mean, you have the chains that you took off of Mr. Tibbs.
Oh yeah, I'll use those.
Alexander probably has some handcuffs.
Oh, does he though?
Fun things. So you bring Eckhart to the coal chute. Could you roll me perception alertness as you enter the house?
All of us?
Anyone who wants to.
Sight or hearing?
Sight.
Ooh.
Not a success in sight.
I actually got 5 successes.
5 successes from Sid, 2 successes from Herschel, no successes from Auden. Auden's still kind of slightly distracted by a lot of things. The tone and pitch of the music of the world has changed again. You look at Eckhart and you start to hear a waltz, a Viennese waltz. You are distracted by that. Herschel, you don't trip over the giant bag of garbage that's right inside the door that nobody took outside. Sid, you're sighing as you and Herschel are carrying Eckhart inside, and you glance to your right, take a second, and then you glance back at the coat hook with mirror over the top of it that kind of fit, so you could have like fix your hair just before you walked out the door kind of thing. Very nice little wood frame around it with the mantle and then like little coat hooks underneath it. And you realize that there is a lipstick kiss and a phone number written in red lipstick on it.
What's the phone number? Do I recognize it?
You don't recognize it, but there's also a note is like, call if you need a favor. And there's just a Q. Very stylized Q. And like a red lipstick kiss.
What do you suppose that means?
I'm gonna hold out my hand and be like, can I have that?
The whole mirror?
Like, yeah. Can I take it with me upstairs?
Why do you want the mirror?
I have my reasons.
Sure, take it.
Okay, I'm taking the
Just
mirror
be
upstairs.
sure Alexander gets the note message, though.
Oh no, I will. I'm gonna march up to Alexander's room and I'm gonna first like snap a picture of the message so that way like if he does actually want it, kind of like I decide to be nice later, I have it, but I'm going to throw the mirror at his door and just go back down to my room.
You're assuming that's the only message she left in this house.
I know it's not, but like it makes me feel better as the
Did you just smash the mirror on his door?
Yeah, I threw it at his door.
This very nice late Victorian, early Edwardian period.
Oh yeah, I have absolutely clocked this mirror as being a very fine piece of art, and I am shattering it anyway.
Sid,
Auden is very
been
petty.
acting a lot more crazy lately.
I don't know what's going on in this house.
I'm also having a do I hear a waltz moment, still trying to get the waltz out of my head, so I'm throwing it in time to a Viennese waltz and just hating myself for it.
Do I see Lewis anywhere, Deirdre?
Roll me perception occult. With 4 successes, as you help Sid carry Eckhart down the stairs, you realize that Lewis is coming out of the mechanical room, and he's not in there.
Are you actually looking for a ghost in the wiring?
Yes. It doesn't sound safe. I am not. I want to be. We should be. I'm here to help you.
You know what, Lewis? Yes, you are. You're doing a bang-up job of it, too. Just keep looking for it. You'll get them.
Okay. I didn't look in that, and he points at your computer system, but that's next.
No, it's fine. It's anti-wraith proof.
Okay, are you sure?
Yep. That's fine. You don't need to touch that.
Okay, because there's another one upstairs. I'll start up the stairs then.
Yep. Do whatever you want upstairs. Just not this one. Literally, whatever you want upstairs.
Okay. And he just kind of floats up, and he actually takes the stairs.
This is the weirdest ghost.
Yep.
All right, let's get Mr. Stein wrapped up in the coal chute.
Yeah, I'll go
I've
get the
definitely
chain.
come downstairs by this point too.
Could you roll me
I'm here to
dexterity
help.
security? One of you. Whoever wants to chain Eckhard up in the coal chute.
I think
Yeah.
I've come down at this point, but I'm not like actually gonna lift the chain because oh no, my nails. Something.
Dex security.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is security? Oh, there it is. Here. Celerity. Difficulty 6.
Yep.
Oh, just 3 successes.
I mean, it's not hard. He's unconscious, and you managed to chain him up, and you've got him kind of laying there. He looks oddly human, but he's not breathing, and he's not like anything else that looks human. He just looks human.
Why haven't we killed him yet, Sid?
He needs to answer a few things first.
Something you saw while you were sleeping?
Well, I remember them draining my blood.
Mm-hmm.
What's the end game of that? Why are they creating fake vampires?
Fake army?
It's dangerous to all of us. The more of us there are, the more chances we have of getting caught.
Maybe they want us to get caught.
But why?
I don't. You think I know why? I don't know.
No, a rhetorical question. Anyway.
Well, then ask it at the wall and not at my face, Sid.
And maybe they want some new leadership.
Is this to overthrow the prince or something?
I mean, we get exposed, we get cleared out, maybe they have a good place to hide to write it out, and then they start again.
Could
Whoever
be.
they want in charge.
Could be.
Certainly not Mr. Stein here.
No, I think Stein was just a pawn. He's not the mastermind behind it all.
Just a dealer.
Han in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, was your blood used in the other fake vampires we found?
We never checked.
Could we check somehow now?
It's been so long, I don't think so. We need to find a new one.
Well, how are we gonna do that?
Wait, probably.
By asking him where we can find them.
All right. All right.
I'll remove the stake from Eckhart. Yeah.
He seems to start to come around much more quickly than you would expect.
I don't like that.
He just puts him down again.
He's still out of it, but how did you chain him up?
I think I made sure to chain to make sure because they're not like handcuffs. So since it's just a chain.
With manacles, yes.
Okay, there are manacles.
Yeah, the ones you took off the Vatican hunters? Yes.
Oh. Then in that case, I make sure to tie his right wrist to his left ankle.
Okay.
And then I'll use the chain to like hog tie the rest together so that even if he manages to somehow slip through the chains, he still has like one leg attached to a wrist, and then, you know, running away might be a little hard.
Okay, so he's kind of like in a ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. He laser focuses. It's surprising. He's much more with it than you'd expect. And he laser focuses directly on you.
Hey.
So. Very pleasant place.
So, long time no see, asshole.
I saw you just the other week. You didn't kill the Bruja.
No, I did not. I might do the same for you if you are nice enough and answer a few questions that I have about what you've been up to.
Why would I answer you?
Because my backup plan is to bring you to the prince.
Why would I be scared of the prince?
Listen, fuckface. I downed you in the blink of an eye. I could have killed you right there and then. But I didn't. Because somehow I feel like I owe you something, or whatever. I could kill you right now. You're right, you shouldn't fear the prince, you should fear me much more than the prince.
I fear none of you. Particularly a peasant who thinks they know what is going on.
Look
You
at
were useful, but not very good.
I'll whip out my phone, my cell phone. And I will call Sophia and Veronique.
Okay.
Boo.
No, let him see where he's let's see where this goes.
Mr. Zimmerman, I presume, what can I do for you?
I remember that favor you owe me.
I'm assuming that's why you're calling. What do you
Yep.
desire?
Are you able to extract information from someone's brain in a very, very painful fashion?
You hear a pause. Is this particular individual someone that would be upset or cause other people to be upset with my desire to do so?
Well, that person would probably be upset if someone was to rummage around their noggins, because they're oh so above all of us peasants.
I mean, I haven't messed around with a noble person's head in quite a few years. Do you happen to know their lineage and associations?
I don't think he's a noble. I think he's a pawn who believes himself to be a king.
At that, Eckhard literally turns to you and, in biting German, says, "My blood is bluer than yours, you I'm not going to say that. Peasant."
I'll reply in German to him. We all did away with the monarchies. You're not worth shit anymore.
You hear from the phone that voice sounds very distinctive. Would you mind turning the phone towards them and having them proclaim their lineage again? Because I believe I might be willing to do this pro bono, if it's who I think it is.
Hey, Stein. Do you mind saying a few more words to that device that I'm owning or holding?
Said you might have speakerphone.
Oh.
He looks resolute and angry and intentional in not talking now. Unless you can figure out something to say to anger him.
So you refuse to speak?
I think your pawn's broken. He doesn't want to talk anymore.
No, I know.
Was he always like this? Like, that high and mighty kind of thing?
No, from what I remember, now that I have my memories, he was more of a unrepented coward.
Sure looks like one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he totally does.
You know,
you always let your children talk for you?
No, he's pretty good at talking for himself. He just tends to talk with his fists more than he talks with his words.
And coming from the phone, in flawless German, you hear Veronique say, "Ah, Graf Waldenstein, it's been so long. Do you remember what happened the last time you came to London?" And you see Eckhard stutter for a second and look not frightened, but out of step.
So, about that favor.
You wish for me to, are you still on speakerphone?
Yep.
Oh, you wish for me to shatter the good Graf's mind and rip it apart at the seams and poke around inside to see what the Waldensteins think that they can do now?
Yep. Just make sure to make it as painful as possible. He apparently fears no one. So...
I mean, quite sure he feels at least one person in particular. Don't you, Graf? I believe my lord still has a warrant for your destruction. I wonder, is that valid still?
Let's see if I give it over to the good, Prince of London. Might want to finish him up myself. But first, he needs to be broken. I want him in pieces.
Oh, that will be a pleasure.
Good.
Sophia hasn't gotten to play with anyone in a while. I'm quite sure she'd love to join in.
Out of character, what time is it at the moment?
You went at the beginning of the day or night. It's probably close to midnight, maybe pushing 1 o'clock.
If we bring him tonight, you're good with that?
The door will be left open for you. The elevator will go directly to our floor from the garage.
Good. I'll hang up. And I'll take the steak. Should have just answered my question, asshole. And I'll take him again.
Okay. He is conscious now, even if he is bound, so it's going to be a little bit of effort. Can you roll me strength athletics to see how this goes?
I'm gonna burn a point of willpower to make sure that I succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 3 successes.
3 successes. He struggles a little bit, and you see that he's gone for that level of, like stoic German officer. I'm not going to answer your questions. Restraint, and then proceed. You stake him, and he's unconscious or in torpor. Well, but it's the same thing.
All right. Then let's bring him.
Well, get the car around again, I suppose.
Yep. Let's do this. You ready to see your friends, Herschel?
No, not really. Just kind of hoping Sid would ask the favor and just have him jump out a window, but...
No.
Maybe one day.
I think we're on the same side right now, Herschel. They're with us now. Get rid of...
I'm sure they are.
So you summon the car.
Mm-hmm.
It takes about 15 minutes. And you return to the hotel at 41st Street and First Avenue. 43rd Street and First Avenue. Pull into the underground parking garage. The elevator is there waiting for you to take you directly to the penthouse. Again, very sedate. Opens up to the entryway to the penthouse. You walk through the door that's opened. You see the couch that was facing the big picture windows that overlooked the East River has been moved out of the way. The floor is covered with a tarp on the ground. There is a single chair in the middle of the tarp, and in a armchair facing this, ladder back kitchen chair, Veronique reclines very sedately in a red jumpsuit with a halter collar and a sleeveless gold belt and white high heel boots.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair is down. She's staring at all of you. Sophia comes in from the other room. She's dressed in a kind of matching outfit, but instead of being in red, it's a bright, royal blue with a ochre kind of belt and boots. And she smiles. And the two of them smile at you welcomingly, but there's a hint of menace that's not directed at you in their smile and anticipation.
Mm-hmm. My compliments to both of you on these spectacular outfits.
Thank you.
Kind of look like Persian streetwalkers, but it's whatever.
I'm gonna elbow Herschel. Just like full on. Like...
See, the child hasn't quite learned its place yet.
I should apologize for him, but I'm afraid that no amount of apologies that I can do would ever make up for him.
Although this one does have proper manners.
I'm gonna stand up a little taller.
And Veronique stands up. So, would you like to deposit your gift on the chair, please?
Bam!
Veronique smiles. If you'd be so kind as to remove the stake. And would you like to remain for this? Or not?
Yes.
Sophia, darling, would you be a dear? And you just see Sophia smile and recline in the chair that Veronique has gotten out of and just kind of gesture slightly as the shadows from the ladder back chair begin to circle up around Eckhard's legs and his wrists and restrain him and hold him in place to this ladder back chair.
Good.
You might not see everything, but is there a particular thing you wish to know as I shatter his mind?
Yes. A few questions.
If I do this right, you might be able to ask them yourself.
Oh. That would be the best.
Do you particularly care if his well, I'm quite sure you don't, so never mind. Be aware that some things might be unpleasant, distasteful, or, you know, this particular individual is an unpleasant individual. I don't particularly care for what's going to happen, but, you know, be aware that it might be slightly upsetting for what's about to happen.
Okay.
Well, righty then. And she stands in front of the chair, just snaps her fingers in front of Eckhard a couple times as he slowly starts to come around and he's blinking his eyes open, and she stares at him and you feel pressure. All of you feel this overwhelming pressure. You're used to feeling dominate. You felt dominate come off of Alexander before. This is like 10 times what you felt from Alexander. But it's not directed at you. And then you see her merely say, "Oh, Graf, be a dear and keep your eyes open." There we are. Now then, just to see, and because I want to know, I'm gonna roll for this. Roll her manipulation dominate. And it's a specialization, so she gets to lower that. Haha. And he's fucked, so let's see. Oh, fucking hell. My dice roller isn't working. You want Eckhard to do well?
Oh, yeah.
What? No.
I want Eckhart to do well, jump up, just knock us 3 unconscious, and then murder these 2.
Herschel, you bastard!
Ideal scenario. That's what's going through Herschel's head.
Oh my god.
5, 6, 7. 8, 9. With 9 successes, he does jack shit. Sorry, for some reason my dice roller isn't working and I don't know why. It's being weird. She smiles and you see Eckhart's face muscles literally just go slack and glazed. And now anything that Sid asks of you, you will respond to in the correctly with as much detail as you're aware of and without any fighting. And if you don't, every time you delay or phrase, one of your muscle groups will seize in multiple pain. For example, let me show you how this works. And you see her concentrate again. And you see his entire left arm just start seizing, like it was being put under electricity. And you see that his face is in pain, but he cannot vocalize it. And then it stops. Just like that. So now then. Sid, would you like to ask a question?
Out of curiosity, while Sid's thinking of a question, how does it sound in here? Because this is probably not this is the opposite of Rebecca's place, I'm imagining.
Sound? Oh, for music-wise, for you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a level of, like, classical music playing in the background, like a chamber, like a 5-string, string quintet kind of chamber music in the background. Very posh.
I'm just imagining every time Eckhart's in pain, though. It's just like, here's this pretty quartet, dubstep drop, just like not conducive to.
And you would
notice
that if you turn your focus from Veronique to Sophia, or if you turn your notice from the room as a whole to either Veronique or Sophia, they have different musical accompaniments that are harmonious but very different. Sophia is a Verdi aria, full Italian revenge opera aria. Veronique is this kind of cross between, Baroque and Rococo classical, like, kind of going on. So
it's so fun. I love it so much.
Yes.
Great. It's great. I am just going to try not to hum along.
But when you focus on either of them or both of them, their musical play interweaves well with each other, and there's a harmonious complementary tone that comes from it, even if the songs themselves are very different. Sounds good. Yeah. Sounds like whoever is doing the mixing is actually, the mix is actually really good and works really well between the two of them. Almost like they've been hanging out for 200 years. Sid, do you have a question for this?
Yes.
Graph.
So, what are you doing in New York?
And it takes a second, and he opens his mouth and responds, serving the Empire. Expanding the Empire.
What's with the fake vampires? Why did you need my blood for that?
Gangrels have always been most useful in the artificial turnings. They're easier controlled, less alternative side effects. And you had proven that you were not worth what I saw in you to begin with. The added advantage being that it gives double the level of commitment and loyalty to the Empire.
What's this empire you speak of? Seems like some Tremere bullshit to me.
Well, Vienna is the capital. It's the same empire I've served since 1806.
You draw your allegiances towards Kine.
The Habsburgs are not kind.
The Habsburgs are not in charge of New York City.
Yet.
Why the Inquisition then?
A useful tool, but not mine.
Whose?
I believe Kodo.
I look at Veronique and Sophia.
Mm.
Just for like confirmation.
That Kodo was in charge of the Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was one of the things that they got out of him.
Yeah. What's the point of all the fake vampires then?
Troops.
Seems it would have been much simpler to create shovel heads.
The problem with shovel heads, they don't, as you so quaintly term them, they're still at the end. Expect to be closer to kindred. These troops are neither kindred nor kind. Disposable. Useful. As the years have proven, it's numbers that are important.
And yet I have yet to see your mighty army in the streets of New York City. All I've seen are a few strays. Where are you hiding the rest, Eckhard? Where's your garrison?
He doesn't answer that one.
Does it pain him?
Veronique shakes her head, and suddenly his whole body is in seizures, but he still doesn't answer.
Let me ask you again. Where's your army of pawns?
I cannot answer that question.
That sucks. And I look to Veronique again.
And she just smiles a little bit, and you see this hint of menace, this minor enjoyment that she's getting out of this. Not sadism or a sadistic pleasure, but a level of Schadenfreude. As she racks his body again with seizures. And he screams this time and says, I cannot answer you that.
Cannot because you don't want to, or because the Tremere messed up with your mind again?
I cannot answer that.
I look at Veronique with a wide grin.
And she just smiles and looks to you as Eckhart's whole body is seizing in seizures at this point. And she lets it go for a while and she goes, well, how are you doing? I haven't checked in with you. I'm very apologetic. I should remember my manners. Would you like something to drink?
Oh, I wouldn't say no to that.
Of course. Ignatius, darling, would you be a dear and bring drinks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glasses, please, dear.
I'll turn back to Eckhart and I'll say, what can you tell me then? What are you allowed to say without the Tremere blocking things in your mind?
Ludwig Pranto was a very useful ghoul for a while.
Ludwig. How do you spell Prental?
Prandtl. I may have mispronounced it, but German. So I don't do that one.
That's okay. Who's that Ludwig Prental?
Did you know that the centrifuge was invented in 1875? Or patented and presented at the World's Fair in 1875?
No, I didn't, nor do I care much.
That seems a shame. It's a very useful tool.
You said the centrifuge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, sure, I know what it does.
It's been ours since 1876.
So? Yeah, you can mix blood together.
Or separated.
Yeah. Get to the point.
You say, where are these troops? And I say, we've had a centrifuge since 1876. And the ability and the right spells to perfect, well, at least the base troops since 1880. 1923 was a very useful year. First time we attempted to combine further the uses. Saw the advancement of a Swedish fellow, Theodor Sverdbeg. Meant that you could now have that same centrifuge do even more. Higher speeds. Bruja and Gangrel combine well. Ventru are problematic. Toreadors depend. Nosferatu can be a positive blend. Malkavians, well, they're Malkavians. Only useful if you really want to destroy a city quickly. You've seen one of them, I think, Sid. That professor in your basement.
Hot professor, no.
But
So where is your centrifuge?
which one?
All of them.
I only know of a number. I don't know all of them.
And please enlighten me.
I believe on this coast, there's one in every Tremere Chantry. On the west coast, there are 4 in LA.
Well, then I don't think we're gonna have to fear your mighty army here in New York since the Inquisition cleared out the Tremere Chantry.
Did they?
Did they?
They cleared out one.
Where are the others then?
I cannot answer that question.
Sucks to be you right now.
Veronique takes that as an opportunity to just willingly give in to her desire to cause a card pain, and she does. But he can't answer.
Oh, I figure he probably, like, physically cannot answer.
Mhm.
But that's why I love just torturing the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing.
If it's a blockage like what the Tremere did to us, I have a friend who might be useful in that.
I have a friend. Who are we talking about? I do love when we have new friends.
I'll take my cell phone. I'll call Rebecca again.
Yeah, hey Sid, what's up?
Hey, remember when the Tremere played in, when Franny played in Alexander and Mine's Head?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
that was fun.
put a spell or
Not.
something.
Yeah, compulsion.
Yeah, there was a way to remove it, right?
Yeah. Are you asking for another favor? Who did you piss off? Why do you have another compulsion on you, Sid?
No. My sire has a compulsion on him, and as fun as it is to torture the shit out of him, I actually need those answers.
Who are you letting torture Edgard? Why am I not invited?
Well, you're invited now.
Okay, so where am I going?
I give her the address of where we are.
Oh, you're at Veronique's! Yay! Tell her I'll be right there, and then I'll bring and to order up the good coffee.
Becky says she's on her way.
I'm sorry, who?
Rebecca
Oh,
Leibowitz.
Oh, Rebecca, of course. Oh, we should definitely order coffee. Ignatius, darling, could you order in some coffee? We're going to need. Rebecca's coming. Yes. Yes, I know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, fine. We'll add double. Just sip well. It's fine. And it's almost like she's having a phone conversation. You don't hear this other half of it, but you definitely get the impression that she is having a conversation with Ignatius.
While Rebecca is on her way, I'll turn to Auden and Herschel. So, while we're here,
Yes.
anything you want to ask him that you think he would know the answer of? Too?
Oh, Herschel. Don't think too hard now.
No.
I suppose we've gotten a lot of the answers we were looking for already, which is good.
Oh yeah, no, it's just for shits.
Oh. What makes him think he's so much better than the rest of us? I just want to see him struggle a little.
Because I have a title and you don't.
You don't know that. You don't know who I am or where I've been.
Arden
or
St.
who I
James,
am.
originally from North Carolina, now living in New York. Your sire was Nathaniel Hawkins. Very unpleasant individual. I didn't care for him.
And it's South Carolina, you German douchebag.
They're the same.
And you're probably just a proto-Nazi in a fancy dress. I'm glad they're hurting you.
Austrian, not German. Thank you.
Whatever, it's still a sausage and you're still a douche.
Like, Deirdre's laughing at this? He is not.
Well, I figure he's not, but...
No, he's... I'm just
Wow,
gonna eat
you
this up. She's
really-
gonna have a moment.
You really burned me good.
Yep. Do any of you others have a question?
I feel like Herschel would... You don't want to ask about Franny or anything? How she got involved in all of his nonsense?
How did you know Franny?
Her sire chose her. She had skill. Casting was easy for her. Unfortunately, her sire did not aware of her ties to Giovanni's, but explaining the great work to her, she agreed with, in exchange for her own personal distractions. And he kind of like, you feel this kind of like, when he says distractions, looking at Herschel, this level of like slight disdain that Franny would bother to lower herself to hang out with Herschel.
Well, Herschel, unfortunately, not to talk bad about the dead or anything, Franny was kind of involved in some nasty business.
She also legitimately cared about me, though.
I mean, you don't think that Sid or me or Alexander do? Are we fucking dog trash to you because we're not some pretty woman in a suit? Like, I can get Sid to dress up sometimes if it would make you feel better. You don't have to keep wasting your whole time on some woman that was involved in some weird vampire eugenics.
It's different than that.
I don't know. Don't seem that much different to me. Since we're gonna call me out for being a little bum hick, as you seem to think I am, you know, you don't have to butter your biscuit that way.
Don't worry, Auden. You'll fall in love one day.
I'm not worried about that. I just think you should maybe get over the weird Italian eugenics girl and realize that you have family that cares about you for whatever dumb reason. I mean, you stink and you did try to sell me out and I hate you, but also, like, I don't.
When all the business is finished with Franny, then maybe I can get over it.
I think we're almost done.
Maybe.
Also, seriously, Stein, you suck. Like, straight up, like, my sire was shit, but you were just the worst.
Your sire was useful for a brief period of time.
So he should love to think.
He was very good at marketing and assisted us in that.
And it doesn't take a child is good at marketing. Come to the 21st century, everybody's good at it. You know what TikTok is? It's basically just self-marketing with dumb jokes. You ain't so special just because you have a title.
And the land to go with it.
He's gonna do the jerk off motion. He just does not care.
I mean, technically, titles are important in some circles. On
You mean the circle jerk of this guy?
I mean, maybe he might get to go first.
He can die first for all I care. Sid, I hope you don't mind us trashing on your sire like that.
Oh, no, I'm having a lot of fun.
With
Seems
you
like
all trashing on Eckhard and laughing as you mentally break him, you hear the door to the penthouse open. And I think that's where we're going to end it for today.
Nice.
How we doing? Okay?
Good.
Oh yeah.
Really good.
Really good? Okay. That's good. I'm glad we're all having fun. But, you know, it's vampire. Things are entertaining. See what happens next.
We're about to go fuck up some more Tremere, it seems.
Yeah. Will we actually leave Manhattan?
Uh,
I don't think we've actually.
This is our town.
yeah.
The
Let's
prince
face it,
and us.
if we have to go to Staten Island, like nothing's gonna. That shelter's gonna be fine because we're not going to Staten Island.
I mean, you did get to Governor's Island. You did leave the island of
That's not
Manhattan.
Staten Island.
This is true.
We're gonna go to another town and we're gonna find like our doppelganger group.
Being in just as much shit as we are.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be great.
Where it'll be like polar opposites. Like the Herschel will be like super clean, and then like the Auden would be like
Ventru
super
Herschel.
Mm-hmm.
Venture Herschel just sounds like hell. I love it.
Huh.
Oh no, we've given her ideas.
Huh. No. I embrace all of this, but thank you. We are getting to the end of this chronicle. Only 2 more episodes left.
Yes. Yee. So, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the everything. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platforms. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Before we leave, I just want to thank all of our sponsors, Mage and Press, Found Familiar, and through the our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. Check them out down below in the panels or the messages in chat. If you're on YouTube, you can always check them out by going to twitch.tv/wanderingdm and clicking on the panels. You can find me come Tuesday for another special episode of The Witcher Legacy, our sponsored stream of The Witcher TTRPG. Then on Wednesday, Stranger House is back for more talk shows and cartomancy readings. If you're interested in talking about a project of yours, or if you have something in the works, be sure to send me a DM on Twitter, and I'm gonna link you up with Chris, who's in charge of the Stranger House. That said, on Thursday we will reprise our Dragonlance stream, and then on next Friday we will be hosting a very special charity game for Trans Lifeline for the Trans Week of Awareness, where we're gonna play Molgoths and Visigoths. And yes, Deirdre?
Dragon Age, not Dragonlance.
I said Dragonlance? I'm sorry, I meant Dragon Age.
I was gonna say I am a huge Dragonlance fan.
It's
Where is the stream?
My apologies, I meant Dragon Age, sponsored
Yes.
by Green Ronin. And then next Saturday, come back here for some more Vampire. Let's go around the table, tell us who you are, where we can find you for the next week. Let's begin with Auden.
Yep, it's me, Alexander Slamilton, Xander Slamilton on all the things, Twitch, Twitter. I'm mostly just here on Saturdays. I will be around for other things. This work from home life has proven that I can spend significantly more time doing dumb things, so that will probably be possible. So thank you guys for this game. I love this so much.
And next is Quentin.
Yeah, gosh, I wish I was like stranded, stuck at home, but I'm not, so I don't have a whole lot of time for dumb things, but maybe someday I will. So you can only catch me here on Saturdays playing Herschel Acres, and I got some things to think about as to how I'm gonna do stuff, and then yeah, so it should be a good time in the future episodes. So thank you for watching. I hope you keep watching, and find me in the chat and on Twitter @Dragon. So thanks again for watching, everyone.
Thank you to both of you, Alyssa and Quentin, for coming today. We are still missing one Scott, who might be back next week. And last but not least is our storyteller. Thank you so much, Deirdre, for coming and storytelling this Chronicle of Vampire the Masquerade. Where can we find you on the internet?
Hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Prexagora Thesmophoria as you see me around Twitch. And as for me, I'm doing a lot of fun things this week. Tomorrow, actually, I'm going to be over on Other Doc's channel doing a one-shot of Space 1889. Victorian explorers on Mars. It's everything you think it is and more. But we have, it'll be a lot of fun. And then Tuesday on my channel, we are the next session of what we're calling Classics on Twitch. We're doing dramatic reasons of classical dramas. Tuesday is going to be Othello, for Shakespeare's Othello, with Trooper SJP, Academic Foxhole on Twitter, playing Othello. We have Laugh Love Lindy coming to play Desdemona. Kelly, the opera geek, is going to be playing Amelia. And then I and Pope are going to round out the cast, see what happens. One of us might be playing Iago. Somebody might be thinking, we'll find out what happens.
That sounds amazing.
It will be a lot of fun and a lot of amazing. We hope you can come and join us. Those are 11 a.m. Eastern. They're just kind of good fun, and we hope you enjoy them. And then Wednesday, we are going to do this next one of those, which is going to be 12th Night, and it will be hilarious and wonderful and everything you will expect of such a wonderful things. But then Wednesday night, I'm over on Tales from the Grim for some Witcher Family of Wraiths, and we left last week on a cliffhanger with this party split into 3, and one of them alone in an alleyway with 2 guys and swords, and it's a tense moment, y'all. There's some tension, but things are looking up over there. But check my Twitter, because I always post where I'm going to be, and I have a pinned tweet of all of the games that I write and all of the games I play in. So until next week, when we get to find penultimate episode and who came to the door.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.